Welcome to City Issues, a series of discussions with Mayor Randy McClement and key city staff, designed to provide useful information on a variety of city topics and answer some common questions. I'm Patty Mullins, Public Information Coordinator for the City of Frederick, and this is City Issues.
Part is sort of transportation hub. It's a multimodal ability to get people here.
The agency operates the soup kitchen, provides health. Holidays arrive in spectacular style in downtown Frederick and all around the city. Celebrate Frederick, a nonprofit partner with the city, puts on events and plans themed activities that make for memorable experiences, whether you live here or just visit. You may want to mark your calendars with what you're about to hear and tell your visiting friends and family about these events too. Mayor Randy McClement and I are here with Carrie Amorosi and David Gerzik from Celebrate Frederick to talk about some of the family-friendly special activities associated with the holiday season here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Wonderful.
As you can tell by the festive mode that we are in, that we're here to talk about the events that Celebrate Frederick puts on during the holiday seasons. But first, I also wanted to say, to give Celebrate Frederick recognition. It's not just at this time of year, it's all year long that you put on events. A lot of people may not know, but it's the 4th of July, In the Street, Summer Concert Series. A number of events happen all year long, and it's with our great partnership with Celebrate Frederick that happens. So thank you for that. But we're not here to talk about all the summer and spring stuff. We're here to talk about the holiday stuff. So with that, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up in the holiday season. So start off, tell us what's first up on the slate.
Sure. Well, we actually have a wonderful host of events for the holidays, and it does take place over 2 weeks. We start off with the Holiday Art Competition, which is a chance for the community to come together to judge and to look at paintings of the holidays in Frederick. Now, we have a special thing that happens there is that the winner, as voted by the judges, actually becomes the holiday ornament for the next year and the artwork that we use to promote the holiday event. So I know a number of people collect the ornaments. Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys do.
I got
each year. I've got a little tree with all the ornaments on it. And then we have our Scents and Sweets competition.
Scents and Sweets is pretty much exactly how it sounds. It's scents, which is floral, and sweets, which is gingerbread. It's an auction and a competition. So we put on display both of those types of designs from, kids groups all the way to professional bakers or florists are on display. We're actually doing that for our second year at the Tally Recreation Center over off of Bench Street. And again, it's an auction as well. So if you like a piece, you can actually participate in a silent auction for the piece, and you can walk away with it come the end of the weekend.
And what a wonderful event. We hosted at the Tally last year and got a lot more of the public that had a chance to walk on through and see these amazing designs. And so what we've done is we've positioned that event now to allow the artwork, the gingerbread houses and the floral decorations to be on display during our Candlelight House Tour, one of our premier events. It's been around for 25 years now in Frederick, so a chance to peek inside some of the wonderful houses that we have downtown, each of them expertly decorated by professionals, by garden clubs, and sometimes even by the homeowners themselves.
And we have 2 other events that kind of, I wouldn't say close up the holidays, but close up our series of events. We do the, I'd say statewide known Kris Kringle procession. We were voted one of the best holiday traditions in Maryland a few years ago. That takes place on December the 9th. It starts at the intersection of Patrick and Carroll Streets, and then winds its way through downtown Frederick and actually ends up in the Baker Park Band Shell with a little program that the mayor is there to help host. And in addition, we host Rudolph and Kris Kringle, and Frosty and some other kind of German heritage characters. It's very well attended. It is just the holidays in a capsule, right in the middle of downtown Frederick.
Absolutely. We have the conclusion, which is the Festival of Lights. So that's an event that takes place, weather permitting, at City Hall. It allows everybody to kind of recenter and refocus on what the holidays really mean. So pushing away some of the commercialism and thinking about the holidays as a time to really come together. Oftentimes we have a guest speaker that leads us in kind of a nice thought process on what the holidays means, and followed up by a number of choir groups that help also to set the stage. So you put all these events together, and I don't know, perhaps as hometown nostalgic as one could get.
And that thing is we talk consistently and constantly about the character of the city of Frederick, and celebrate Frederick in general, but especially these events that happen towards the end of the year really bring out the character. Carrie talked about the Kris Kringle Parade. You know, if you haven't seen it, you've got to come out and see this, because it's not just a parade. It's a parade of a lot of youth, adults. You know, everybody gets into the holiday season in the spirit, and we parade down Market Street. I get the great honor with my wife to be able out in front, and we love it from our aspect because we get to see all those people and all the kids and all the adults along the side of this route that are just enthralled with this thing. Again, the perspective that I have standing on top of the steps of City Hall when we light the first candle and it rolls down across the City Park courtyard. And you guys have been able to adapt because we've had, you know, a little rain that would happen, and we sort of scuttle across the street to a church that allows us in there. And then the years that you know that's going to happen, you've done great things inside there with the lighting inside the church and stuff. So we appreciate the fact of what you do from Celebrate Frederick's aspect, that you are a great partner.
You know, one of the things that Celebrate Frederick does is we prepare and we plan events that give the community a shared cultural sense. And I think that's so important, the fact that, especially around these times that families do come together, that we have these events that are long-standing. I think the youngest of our events is almost 20 years old now. And gives people a chance to focus their holiday time frame around these shared experiences. And the community comes together around them.
And as you mentioned, Mayor, that it's a busy time of year. And so it's sometimes you may get caught up in what the holidays has become from a maybe more commercial standpoint. And these events don't take up a lot of time, but they're really great touch points, whether they're traditions for your family, whether they're taking 45 minutes out of your Friday to, you know, just be out there with your kids or your neighborhood. I think they're either traditions or they're quick to become part of your schedule to really ground you and remember why you love Frederick, but you also love the holidays.
Now, do you have opportunities for people to participate, volunteer, in addition to compete? I noticed, would you like any volunteers, or are you all covered there?
No, you don't need any volunteers.
Love volunteers, absolutely. So all of these events are volunteer-driven. So they're planned by volunteers. The event days are hosted by volunteers. Volunteers can sign up at celebratefrederick.com. There's a volunteer button at the top corner. Always interested in new folks coming to join us. I think if you look through the entirety of the series, we probably have about 250 volunteers that help us out. And some of those volunteers have been coming back year after year after year. So that has become part of their tradition as well. Nice time to give back.
Talking about giving and stuff, you know, we always talk about Celebrate Frederick as the entity, you know, and you guys do a great job as an entity and stuff. But, you know, one of the things I think people like to do is, why do you guys do what you do?
Well, you all actually touched on a lot of why I do what I do. I've been in my position, or I should say I've been with Celebrate Frederick for about 7 years. And I have moved from being an event planner, which is kind of what brought me to the position, to now I'm a mom And it has really been a journey for me, from enjoying the planning and the logistics, and also just the impact it has on the city, and seeing the growth of the city and how our events kind of weave into that. Then on the flip side, I see it from my child's eyes, from seeing, he came to the Kris Kringle procession last year for the first time, loved it, seeing him bounce in a bouncy house at Frederick's 4th. And it was almost just a way to, go from that back end to the front end. And I really just see how it's affecting up close and personal, as well as everyone in the city.
I don't think I knew exactly how all of these events happened in Frederick. I just kind of assumed that In the Streets is going to happen, that the 4th is going to happen, and I was looking behind the scenes a little bit, and because my family was going to be out of town, I wanted to make sure I still had a chance to engage in these traditions. I didn't want to go by myself, though. And so I signed up as a volunteer. And I think maybe my second time volunteering, I was with the Kris Kringle procession. I was a procession marshal, which means you're one of the folks that wears a top hat that helps some 1,500 kids that are marching in the parade. Some dressed like packages, some dressed like snowflakes, all dressed up and ordained with, and bookended by some of the bands from our local high schools. And I just had a chance to walk around with it. And as I'm walking along, I had a chance to see, what do we have, some 10,000 people that perhaps line the streets? Mm-hmm. And just like you mentioned with your son, their eyes are aglow. And you can tell that they're having a great experience. And just being part of that, helping to plan it, is one of these kind of events that reaffirms your decision to keep helping out. One thing led to another, and there I am now helping to plan the events.
And as a background, and we mentioned prior to starting today, was now you guys are going to have to become mayor, because that's how it works.
That is true. You're destined to be mayor, David.
I had the honor and privilege of serving on the Celebrate Fred. I started with In the Street and manning one of the beer gardens, and wandered through the system there, because again, exactly as you guys said, it's just it's fun. It's great to be able on the other side of that planning and understanding what it really takes to put on. And we're talking about a lot of people, just the volunteers and the sponsors. Part of the goal throughout the year, I know, is for Celebrate Frederick to get up sponsors to us. We are, as a city, we're a sponsor. Carrie is a city employee. And that's part of our sponsorship, is that we provide staff, we provide the Parks and Rec, provide setup and takedown for a lot of the events. Our police department is there. So that is the city's way to contribute to this. Your guys' is the more important way, is to make them happen, make the events happen and keep us informed. So again, all I can say over and over again, I greatly appreciate what Celebrate Frederick does.
And if you look through our volunteer list, you'd see that city employees are some of our best volunteers, always willing to step up to the call.
And I would say to not discount the city's involvement in any way, shape, or form by supplying staff, by these support measures that come across. In addition to our corporate sponsors, we're really able to put a lot of the funding that does come into Celebrate Frederick through our sponsorships, through some of our fundraisers, right back into the events. So you're not paying with tax dollars for fireworks or for entertainment. 93 cents of every dollar that's coming into Celebrate Frederick goes right back into the events, which is really a testament to our partnership with the city, as well as with all of our corporate sponsors.
Our events are free of charge or low charge to the public. During the holidays, we only have one paid event, and that's our Candlelight House Tour. Mm-hmm. And so one of our fundraisers that actually helps us to put on the rest of the holiday events. But even with that event, a portion of the proceeds go back into local nonprofits. So last year, we helped to pay for the Flowers Over Frederick, and we helped to pay for the Benito Mas Park, mm-hmm. and a number of other Easels Over Frederick, I believe, a number of downtown organizations.
That is wonderful, and boy, you all have really given us a lot to think about and to attend. I can hardly wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.